Good evening. This is Ken Long from Tortoise Capital. It's the night of August 12th, 2009. I just want to give a demonstration of how to use Excel with macro functions to be able to generate routine reports pretty easily. And so we have updated all our quotes using XLQ. So I'm going to engage the developer macro. I'm going to use sort all in print. So all the reports and tables are being generated. Now a series of prints. The Etf Daily Report. The pivot tables. The pivot points are generated from the idea of futures pits and the way they calculate those. It carries over into ETFs pretty well. The ETF volatility or the overreaction report. No signals. So the Etf Channeling Report, which looks for routine overbought or oversold. As you can see, EFA right there is overbought. That's the only major index overbought. The 100 by 200 report. This takes a look at price with respect to the 100 and the 200-day moving average. You can see in this column there will be some buys. Most are still in a hold. There's only one short, and that's in treasuries. The Dow Summary Report. And that sorts by 10-day max pain. You see all the worst ones are at the top, all the good ones are at the bottom. Same report, but now for the S&P 100 or the OEX report. Now for the Nasdaq. I can tell I'm going to be interested in that right away because I see some that are a mix of red and green. The last column is a 10-day max pain. The second to last is a 3-day max pain. So if it was red, it was horrible compared to the Nasdaq 100, and green means it's exceptionally good. So there's some that have turned in tremendous performances in the last 3 days that might be the signal for a turnaround. So I'm going to remember to go look at that Nasdaq. Now a series of quality reports. The Dow. S&P 100. The Nasdaq quality report. You can see that we're sorting that by the 31 to 60 day time period for quality. The ETF quality report. And finally, the Fidelity Sector Report. Now I'm going to open this is a Word document that is connected with hot links to the Excel worksheet that we just ran those other specific reports on. And this is going to update all of the key indicators for the daily report. So we can see we're still in bull quiet, and on an annual and a 10-day basis we're right in the neutral zone of their overbought oversold. You can see the Williams percent R for the last 10 days reflected here. On the gap stats, 2/3 of the time the market has been reversing gaps, down from 70%. The standard deviation is still 7% for those gaps. You can see the big losers are the 10-day max pains for those four populations, the Dow, the S&P, Nasdaq, and ETFs. There are no signals in the overreaction system, no signals in the index channeling. You can see the pivot points. The slope of the regression line, of the 30-day regression line, continues to grow. It's made a 2.5 standard deviation move from the last time that it reversed. Volatility still very quiet. See, ADX is above 35 with plus DI over minus DI, so we're bullish. This is the histogram that reflects the differences. You can see the last 30 days in terms of price. The blue line is the regression line. The slope of that line is what forms an individual point that generates the blue line in this chart. And you can see the summary of the automated scans that we've run at stock charts. Last but not least, these indicators here. See weekly RSI at almost 60. Still, that's neutral. We're bullish on the slope of the 200-day and the 50-day moving average. Slope of the 50-day moving average, and then the stretch of price above the 200-day moving average. With both of those green, that means they are exceptionally good compared to the last 180 days. The red on the volatility index, the number 3, means it's extraordinarily quiet compared to the volatility of the last 3 days. So that's a quick look at the daily. Now, each one of these tables relates back to an Excel spreadsheet that's inside that master Excel workbook. And all we're doing is reporting over the crucial visual indicator that's supported by all the analytics that are in Excel. So that's a quick look at how to use Excel and Word and hot links to simplify your life. And thanks for your attention.